Hi guys, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. I have no excuse, I'm just always late. I was up too late. That's what happened. What is this? My bar. Game? I don't want to know what that is. What's up, Mateus? Hello, Code Warrior. I'm doing good today. I stayed up too late playing World of Warcraft again. Thought for sure I was gonna be done with this kick by now, but I'm not. I'm not. So, I did, however, work all day yesterday. I did fix all the issues with the bug fixes or the buff bar. As far as I know. And today I think we're working on the UI for the dungeon. I'll show you what I have so far. I want to get all the UI working. I don't have a ton of time today. I'm only got about 3 hours. No, 2 hours to stream, 2.5 hours. My daughter's having a sleepover with 3 friends today to kind of like finish off summer with a bang. So I don't want to be streaming when they get here because the dogs will be barking like crazy. Because our corgi absolutely loves when company comes over. She goes nuts. And I'm sure the girls will be running around screaming too, so. Anyway, this is what we have so far. Interact with the dungeon. Meeting stone river. It starts you as the striker role, which is DPS. I was really tempted just to call this tank damage and heals or healer, but I thought that tank damage and healer were all 3 different, like, I don't know, sort of like descriptors, I guess. Like healer's pretty obvious, and like I think everyone else knows what healer is, so we did go with healer. But for tank, I went with Guardian. And then with DPS, I went with Striker. I honestly don't love this name, but I don't know another term. I don't know a better term for this. If you guys have ideas, let me know. I asked GPT. I Googled it. I couldn't find anything else. There's like Vanguard, but that sounds more like a tank to me than a DPS. There was also like, I don't know, like assassin. We could do like combatant, but like everyone's a combatant really. Like, I don't know what else to do. So I think striker is probably the best choice right now. I just wanted something that like, I couldn't just put damage there because like that doesn't like, it's not like a title, you know, like healer and guardian are both titles. Even tank is a title, but DPS is not a title. Damage is not a title. It's like it's a verb. It's sure, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, you can choose it now. What I'm kind of thinking is that I need to fill out this party menu, or this party list, right, with 4 players. The problem is I'm not sure exactly how to handle this. I'm thinking like, when you open the menu, we'll add a box here, like as a placeholder for you, and it'll say like join party. And you'll click that, and then it'll refresh this page and add you to it, maybe. You can still update your role afterward, that's fine. And then at the bottom, you'll have a ready button. It just says like ready or something, whatever, yeah. And then once everyone's ready, we'll have a little check marks on the side here. Once everyone's ready, then the dungeon will start. I was going to just, this was going to be your door to open to get into the dungeon. So like this gets, we need to fix our camera offset. It's nuts right now because I was testing archery, which needs major help. Actually, am I crazy or is this working like way better today? Until you get to here. Which is still close enough that you should be able to hit this guy. Yeah, and then you get like all the way to here, and then you're like, now you're hitting this guy, which is like, I know what part of the problem is, but I don't know why it's not actually like, if you're at the right range, this works really well. Anyway, I'm not getting distracted with that today. I don't think. I might. I don't think so. Maybe like warrior. Yeah, but the problem is that really there's already a warrior class, right? So you can already be a warrior. So that's very much like, and also warriors are really kind of designed to be more like tanks. So you can definitely be a DPS warrior. It's definitely one of the tree routes you can go. But the problem is that, yeah, like that's the problem. There's like, as a DPS, you could also be mystic with chaos damage, a mage, a druid, a rogue, or a hunter. So like, it's just by calling a warrior doesn't like really fit. So I need something that's like not a class name, because I don't want players to think like, oh, I'm not a warrior, I'm a mage, so I can't pick warrior, so I have to pick something else. And then they're like, well, what do I pick though? Because I'm not a healer as a mage, but I'm also not a tank as a mage, or a guardian as a mage. So yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. Oh, I'm pressing wrong keys. I'm just getting rid of junk in my inventory. Should probably keep those actually. Too late. Could also just have got a bag. Anyway, so yeah, I think we'll just add like a box here. Should I just maybe I should just like when you join. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. If there's any, maybe I'll just autofill this with 4 players or 4 slots, and you can click join. And once you've joined, then it'll only show the slots available in there. Maybe, I don't know. I could also just say like, I could just hide this whole party box and just say like join party or something, or join dungeon, and not show the party yet. I don't mind making the UI stuff. I enjoy that process. I don't like the process of like designing the UI all the time. Sometimes it's okay. This is kind of annoying. Striker definitely works anyway. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna stick with for now until someone else like pops in and is like, oh, why don't you just call it this? We can always just make it like damage dealer too, guardian, damage dealer, and healer. That would be fine, but I think it's fine. Oh, we're frozen. Yep, I think I'll just add 1 extra slot at the end of the party list. Okay. Gonna get rid of all the junk in here we don't need. No, we don't need that either. And maybe we'll make this green. Or yellow, maybe? Blue? Make it blue. That way you see it right away. We don't need any of this code. We don't need that. We don't need this. We don't need this or this. This or this or this. All we need is this button. Oh, it's not a button. We need it to be a button. Let's go. I think we can copy this brush. Replace with child. Okay, now we have a button on this border. We can either try to copy the style. Is it not we do this? Isn't it a brush? Kinda, not really. What if we just make this invisible? Wait. I think we need like an overlay, actually. Maybe on this. Let's wrap with an overlay. This text, no, this button can go back onto the overlay. The text can go back on the border. There we go. And then yeah, like that. The only problem is that the button will need to modify. Oh man, how do we do this? Let's see if we can just make the button look like this, I guess. I don't know what else to do. Looks like we can. Covered. Let's go lighter. Okay. I would have spent way too long trying to figure out why that was happening when it was not an issue at all. What's this, though? Random size box we don't need. Spacer. Oh, we do need the spacer. Okay, there's our join party button. That took too long. Oh, sorry, let me get caught up. I missed some messages. What's up, SquarePeg? Hey, got a question for you. What do you use to make your textures, vector art or pixel art? Vector art. I use Affinity Designer, but you can use Inkscape. It's a free version of it. You can use Adobe Illustrator if you have that. But I love Affinity Designer. That's how I make all these icons. They're all just separate layers with pieces. You just keep double clicking to get through the pieces. It's like the head is like 2 pieces here. This one just has like a gradient on it that makes it look like it's, yeah, I don't know. It's all just a bunch of little layers. Yeah, I love it. I feel like I have more control over this. It feels like 3D modeling in 2D for me. That's why I like 3D modeling so much, because I like being able to like just grab things and put them exactly where I want them to be. Whereas like drawing, I feel like I have to be like, there's like a talent to it. Like it takes a long time for me to like practice and like get to that point where I can actually like build stuff in 3D, if that makes sense. Anyway, I've been thinking about these trees, by the way. And I think I'm going to go through and make the icons smaller for them so I can make the trees taller. So I have a little more control over what I want to do. So if I want to do like one branch in the beginning, I can branch it up and then branch off from it or whatever. More so than I could before. So anyway, now that we're sufficiently distracted. What's next? What's up, Arrow? Welcome in. Also consider a 4-pack on Steam. I want to buy. They don't do that anymore. Buy multiple copies for my friends. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. We tried. When we launched the game, I was like, we're definitely doing a 4-pack deal like they do on Steam because I love that too, but they don't do it anymore. That's if you see it anywhere, it's because it's been like grandfathered in. Like if people already had it set up, then they get to keep it, but you can't do it anymore. Yeah, trust me, we would definitely have that. Big fan of Inkscape personally. We could do a thing where like you could buy a 4-pack on like, I don't know what platform. I guess like our website, I guess we could do it if we wanted to. Or just like if you wanted to buy a 4-pack through me or something, I could give you like a discount or something. But I actually don't even know if I'm allowed to do that because technically if you put the game on sale anywhere, it has to be on sale on Steam as well, according to their terms of service. So, yeah. I can't even do that, actually. So the best thing I could do is just... You could send me money, I could send you 4 keys if that was faster than buying it through Steam, but... It's better to do it through Steam anyway, because then if you review the game, it actually counts as part of toward the review score. If I give you keys, it doesn't count. I think it does, Arrow. I'm pretty sure you can't put the game on sale for cheaper anywhere other than like anywhere else. You just have to provide similar pricing on Steam. Maybe there's semantics there I missed. There's some semantics there I missed. You were just reading the Steam docs yesterday. Yeah, maybe you're right. I remember the deal was that you couldn't sell the game for cheaper somewhere else. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, button. On pressed, and we want to what do we do for this one? Button click queue and UI hover inventory. All right, we're gonna make dispatcher I think we're gonna put the player character in here, maybe. I think that's how we're gonna track who's in the dungeon, because that way I can just grab that array of players on the dungeon menu on the server end and just teleport all of them. I think that's how we're gonna do it. I was thinking of doing a big giveaway on our game when it comes out. I'm thinking of writing a Twitch bot that anyone can add to their channel that just gives out keys for our game for the first 2 days it's out or something. Just be careful. I mean, it probably couldn't hurt to just give out a handful of copies for free to get people playing it. But yeah, just be careful, because if it's easy to get and you're just giving out like tons of keys, players aren't gonna buy it, right? I think sometimes, especially like I don't know. I think we're in this kind of like, I don't know. It's like we're like past shovelware. I had a term for it now, I can't think what it's called. Anyway, we're kind of like in this like shovelware indie state where a lot of games are like totally worthless, right? Because there's just so many indie games, and unless yours like really is polished and that stands out. And I'm not saying yours isn't one of those games, I'm just saying like we have a lot of games out. And so sometimes because of that, when a game is free or really cheap, if it's not quality, if it's free or really cheap, even if it is quality, players will immediately just put it in that pile of like all those cheap games, right? So I like to think that if you have a quality polished product, then you should treat it as like a premium product, right? And instead of like, you don't want to treat it like it's trash. You don't want to treat it like it's a free sample at Costco, right? Like, you don't want to just give it away if you can help it. That said, we've definitely, given away our fair share of keys, which I regret now. I regret doing the Jingle Jam thing. I know it was for charity, and I'm glad that we helped raise money for charity, but I still regret doing it because I would have rather just donated some money or something, because I think that nothing good came from that for us. And that was, I don't know, this sounds terrible. Every time I bring this up, I feel like an absolute asshole, because on one hand, I'm really glad that we gave to charity, and that was the idea. But on the other hand, they like really pushed that developers who did this also saw huge upticks in sales and player bases and things like that. And I think that's because a lot of games don't have players in the first place, or sales in the first place. So as soon as people start seeing your game at all, then that's a huge win for most developers, right? Anyway, I don't know, whatever, moving on. I don't know, just saying, Era, like, I don't want to see you give away a bunch of copies of the game and then find out you don't sell any, right? So I would just also keep in mind that when you give away a key, that review, if someone reviews it, does not count towards your review score. So you want to make sure that you have a handful of people, at least 10 people, that you know are going to buy your game day one and review it. They have to buy it. You can't just give them keys, they have to buy it. If you can get those 10 reviews on day one, then your game will be pushed by Steam much harder. So by giving away keys everywhere you can think of, might be a bad idea. That's the biggest problem with giving away keys is that it counts as, even if they all review it, it looks good from a player standpoint when they scroll down and see the reviews, but it doesn't help you on Steam at all because Steam doesn't recognize that as an official review. As a valid review, I guess. So we're gonna have to use this player character reference, and we're gonna send it up to the server and then add it on there, replicated, and then we'll just refresh everyone's dungeon widget or dungeon menu based on that. We have a dungeon master, or not a dungeon master, a dungeon manager, which should be replicated. And this should be the one that stores all the players involved. See, we're doing this where we're like, players enter the waiting area, but I don't like this. I don't think players need to stay in the waiting area. I think they should be able to run in, queue for the dungeon. We are going to have to communicate with other dungeon managers because if I think, oh, we also need a way to leave the queue probably, like leave the dungeon. Probably from your pause menu. I think as soon, yeah, we're gonna have to make another menu for this pause menu. But I read a Reddit post where someone made their first game really cheap, then used the audience from the first game to get a bunch of wish lists and sales for the second game. Yes, that is another great plan. As long as you have a second game like planned out and are ready to do that, that's great. And also your first game still has to like do well in order to grow that audience. But yeah, like making your first game accessible to an audience and growing a fan base is a huge first step, right? Like that's huge. We luckily did that through Twitch, through YouTube, and through Kickstarter. But and like obviously like Swords and Magic has grown a huge audience. And I like to think that if we launched another game like Seeking Adventure, for example, that audience would play a huge factor in like blowing it up and like and it would make some money that way. But we only have like 2,000 wish lists, and we've shared it around quite a bit on YouTube. We haven't posted it out on Steam yet, but still, yeah. So it hasn't been like huge, but then again, I'm pretty sure we didn't get 2,000 wish lists on Swords and Magic that fast either. I think it took us doing Kickstarter to get those wish lists. So I do think that is a good way to go about it. I actually have considered because I consider this too. So Swords and Magic has been a huge major game, and yeah, and I thought about making Seeking Adventure like, I mean, it's already really cheap. It's gonna be like $7, right? $7 or $8. So it's already really cheap, and the idea was like, obviously having two games hopefully spreads our audience across both games, and they both start doing better because of that. So the more games you have, obviously, the better it's going to be, because you're going to grow an audience from every single game, and then they're going to see the other games you've made, ideally, and then maybe buy more of them. So the idea was originally, like, maybe when I'm ready to launch my next big game, which is the mouse survival game I'm going to start working on as soon as Seeking Adventure is done, or as soon as this is done, or close to done. I was thinking, what if we just put Swords and Magic down to like $5 and said like, hey, we have this new game coming out soon. So Swords and Magic is no longer being worked on or whatever. So now it's like $5, it's super cheap, but check out this new game or whatever. And like doing a big post about it. But I do think that would be kind of cool. Why is YouTube doing this? YouTube keeps updating the broadcast and then flooding my chat with this broadcast completed. It's really annoying. What do you mean broadcast completed? God, I hate YouTube. Are we live on YouTube? We are. Why does it do this crap? I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally just opening up. Let's see if just having the stream open fixes it. It just keeps saying broadcast completed over and over again. It's just flooding my chat, so it's hard to keep up with everyone's messages. Like I'm pretty sure Golfer came in while I was talking, and by the time I got around to like saying hi, I had already, like, the chat already shot up because of all these messages. Anyway, hi Golfer, welcome in. And then Matt, I think, just came in. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. The world of selling games and marketing seems crazy complex. But I'm just glad we're able to work on our game without worrying about making money yet. Yep. That's why I stopped streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Is that happening to you too, Threshius? Just this. I mean, I'm using a chat. What is this thing called? I'm using StreamerBot to have both chats open at one time. And honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of it. But I hate having to like pop open the YouTube chat separately. Honestly, yeah. If this yeah, I also I'm kind of over using YouTube as well. I don't know. If I had more viewers, like we have 6 viewers right now, which I don't know, it's enough to like justify doing it still, I think, but it's still just so annoying. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to use Restream because it costs money unless you want the watermark, I think. So I'm using OBS with a plugin, and that's working perfectly. I don't have any issues with that. And yeah, I don't like Restream either. But I don't like this stupid chat that keeps flooding. I don't know why that keeps happening. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really know what I've done. What if I edit the broadcast? And I just change this to something and hit save. Maybe by just like changing the title or something, then it'll like, now it says broadcast updated. Maybe it'll recognize now that I'm not like ending my stream every 2 minutes. Restream was free, but only if you use 2 platforms. Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I think last time I looked at it, it wasn't free anymore, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I know, Mateus, and like, that's the thing too, is like we have a handful of pretty loyal viewers on YouTube. And another nice thing is that it also uploads our streams so people can come watch it later. And then the people who are watching on YouTube or who like are subscribed on YouTube don't think the game's dead because we don't release videos, because they see that we stream a couple times a week. So it has its upsides. I guess the only downside, oh my god, I was gonna say I think we fixed it, but no, it just happened again. Okay, here's the dumb thing. It says broadcast completed. Let's add Twitch support. So obviously I have a broadcast that's like being completed over and over and over again for some reason. I'm opening YouTube Studio. I want to see if there's actually a broadcast on here. I have an upcoming one? What is this? I have an upcoming stream. Delete forever. I don't know what that is. Started just doing Twitch and exploring Twitch from YouTube. Oh, sorry, exporting from Twitch to YouTube. Yeah, the process of doing that though means I have to like take extra steps, and anything that requires me to do extra steps is typically not worth the effort. Like, when did I even do that stream? Let's Add Twitch support was on July 17th. So this thing is like ending the stream over and over again, and I don't understand what's going on. There's got to be a bug somewhere. I'm gonna close YouTube. Maybe just having that stream like edit page open is what's sending this message. I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss any chat, then I'm gonna clear it to see if it keeps happening, because there's so many I don't even see chat now, so I don't even know if it's still updating or not. Okay. All right, we'll see if that fixes it. Maybe just having it open, because like I remember this has happened before, and then it would just stopped, and I don't know what's causing it, but I think it might just be having the. Nope, it's happening again. My god, and it posts twice at a time. It posts 2 of them, and then like every 30 seconds it does it again. Why is this happening? Oh my god, I can hide events. Thank you. Okay. Can someone say something? Make sure I didn't like just hide everything though. Ideally someone on Twitch and YouTube. I just want to make sure my chat's still working and I don't just ignore you guys for like 10 minutes. Okay, Twitch is working. My posts on Twitch are working. Okay, we need to promote to variable. We'll see if someone says anything on YouTube. I'm not seeing any messages on YouTube though, but I haven't. Nothing's showing up on the stream either. All right, this is our dungeon menu. I think what I'll do is a custom event in here. There's Mateus. Cool, good. Good, we fixed it. I guess I just need to hide those events. It just sucks because now I can't see like if I update it or someone else, like a mod updates it or something, but whatever, who cares? Okay, bind to, oh my god. Find menu events, I guess. Okay, and then on here in this dungeon menu, we need to add some events in here. Pretty much anything that this menu does, like anytime you update anything, like ready, change your role, or join or leave the dungeon queue or whatever, we need to update that. We need to do that on these. So let's make a dispatcher that says updated role, and then one for joined, and then one for left party. Okay, we'll say that's joined party. Okay, and then what we'll do is, let's see, when this starts, update party members, we need to call that and then what we'll do, this is player character list. Okay, good. If this is 0, we make you the leader, and then what we'll do is if there's no one or there's okay, what we're gonna do is when this is complete, we're gonna take this. I think we're just gonna promote this. Then we'll grab these players, undo contains. Okay, if we have the player in this list, we do nothing. If we don't have the player in this list, that means we need to Add a new widget. Excuse me. Control D was not working for some reason. We want to add the join party. Join. Oh, here we go. Join. Okay, and then, oh yeah, we need to add these to our party box. Why is Control D not working? Now it's working. And then when we add this, we need to bind to player joined. And then we need to call here, say joined party player character. Compile. I'm just doing like a double bind call here. Okay, that'll call and send the player through there. So now this should be working. But I need to promote this, unfortunately, I think. This is gonna be our join button. And we'll get our join button after we join here, and we will remove from parent. And then I don't think we need to do this, but we're just gonna set it to null. Okay. That should be working for joining. Now your name should pop up in there. Oh no, it won't. We need to do that again. Or what we should do actually probably is when a player joins, we'll just tell all of the dungeon menus that are open to update their party members. And that will clear this out and then rebuild it. And then their character should be in this list now. And then this won't trigger down here. Okay. Now let's handle the role change. Oh, I think we screwed this up. I think when we add our party members here, I think we should make this a struct. This right here should be a struct instead. Because then we can have the player and the role in it. Because we need their role, so we know which one to assign. Or do we? Yeah, we do. Yeah, because this is putting the selected role of this player on all of their things, and we can't do that. This needs to be a struct of players. Okay. Well, this is annoying, but it's okay. Let's just build it. Blueprints, structure. Let's call it Dungeon Party, I guess. Anyway. Unreal, please don't crash on me. Please don't crash on me. Thank you. Save everything. Hello? Oh no. Things are running really weird. Okay, I think we're back on track. I have to build my own contains function now, which kind of sucks. Let's input. Yeah, I've been playing WoW a lot lately. Really tempted to stream it. I haven't considering it. I think if I stream it, I might start a new character though. Love to watch a WoW stream to learn it. I mean, retail WoW is all like brand new to me. Like I don't know any of it. My retail character is just hit 44 last night, and I don't even know how I got that high that fast. Maybe 42. I don't remember. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of wild. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe that's what we'll do like on Fridays. And so we'll just like continue on playing the same character on retail. Maybe if we like it, then and we start getting viewers, and we'll start streaming it more often. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Should we do that tomorrow? You guys want to play WoW tomorrow on stream? Should we just make that official? Should we actually do it? I've been playing with Matt, but Matt, since we moved to retail, I do feel like it's kind of weird, but like retail just feels so much more like single player. I don't know, it sounds terrible. And I don't know why, but like we have not played together in retail since like the very beginning. Like we joined together in retail, and then we met up in Dragon Isles, and then we didn't do like anything else together at that point. What I would like to do though, because I've just kind of been skipping through all the quest dialogue, is I would like to start like reading all the dialogue and like paying attention to the story more and see if I can follow along. I think I can in Dragon Isles. Like I think there's, because it's like a new zone everyone's exploring, there's not a lot of lore that I need to know about like there is in other, like there has been in other expansions. So as far as I can tell, I think Dragon Isles has done a pretty good job, or Blizzard has in Dragon Isles, to like keep the lore kind of separated. So maybe. Equal. You know what we should do? Let's just do this and do cast player character. And promote this to player. Now we just have a variable for a reference for this we can just use everywhere. It'll just be a lot easier. We don't have to do like this kind of stuff. We also could have just used this variable in there instead of having to import one or input one. Whatever. How much is a WoW sub? Because I heard there's a trial, and I don't know if one sub gives classic and retail. So a sub gives you access to everything World of Warcraft. As far as I know, you get access to all of the content. Classic, Season of Discovery, retail, hardcore, everything. You get it all with one sub. It's $15 a month, USD. Which is kind of wild to me, honestly, because that's how much it was when I played in high school in like 2005, 2006. It was the same price. So like I don't know how they still do that, but honestly, I really do commend Blizzard for like keeping that price at that level, because you can play for free, and you just have to pre-order or buy the next expansion if you want to do that content. But you can play Dragon Isles completely free now because the War Within came out. And then when Midnight comes out next year, then the War Within will become free, which is, I don't know, kind of insane to me. But you heard some races are starting to look more like standard humans instead of mystical and fantastic races. I don't know. The newest race right now is a dragon race that has a human form. The dragons in this game transform back and forth between human and dragon form, which I'm not super sold on that. I just sort of feel like dragons should just stay dragons. I don't know. That's just my personal like fantasy like palette though, I guess. Like that's my preferred flavor of fantasy. I just think like I also don't like dragons that are like super intelligent and like speak to you through like, you know, telepathy. Telepathy? Yeah, that's the word. Didn't you hear about dragon people? Heard it's elves and orcs. No, I think the orcs still look very much like orcs, and the elves still look very much like they always have been. When they did like an overhaul of the art, and honestly, all they did was just, I personally think that they just cleaned up the style a little bit. They did go a little more like stylized and a little more like maybe, I don't want to say cartoony, but like it definitely kind of softened some of the features. Like the old orcs had like were really like pretty sharp and like evil looking, and the new orcs don't look as like, but honestly I think it's mostly just like they just updated the textures, and they couldn't do a whole lot back in the day. But I do think they kind of like softened the edges a little bit of some of the characters. But honestly, like I still think the orcs very much don't look human. They look like orcs to me, and the elves still very much look like elves to me. I don't think they really changed like the shape of the models very much. They pretty much kept the same models. They just added more polygons and more detail. Anyway, return. I'm gonna plug this in here and then unhook it, because yep. And then we'll do add another return value down here. If we get through this whole list and we haven't found one, then it's false. If we hit here, we return and don't. Everything else. We don't do anything else. We go back into here and we can plug this guy in here. Okay, cool. So this should be working again. And then now we can also do things like this, where we have this role and plug that in there. And then leader can be plugged in here instead of this. And then when we join party, this now needs to be changed. So we need to go back in here. Let's save everything before we break this, because we're about to break it. Player joined. Compile that, and we call this. This is gonna be interesting because I need to put we're just gonna give it this role for now, and then we'll override all this when we get into here. So we'll delete this. Join party. This needs to be. And this is where we get information about this. So we're going to do break. Make. We want this player. But then this is where we want to know, like, for example, the party box. We want to do I want like a child count. Get children count. If this is equal to 1, if the only thing in here is the party box, then we know this is the leader because they're the only player that is joining so far. Right? That makes sense? And then the role is the selected role they have selected in the menu at the time that they joined. And that should work. Okay. Neat. Okay. Now we need to, when we create one of these widgets, we need to bind to, well, we don't know. Actually, we don't have any binds on there yet. Okay, and then we need a left party. We need to move that around, but we need to input. I don't think we should do the whole struct here. I think we should just do. Should we? We'll just do player. We'll just do the player character, and then we can grab that. So we need a button for this. Let's grab, let's just steal a button. Let's just use our default button, which is what? UI button. I don't want it in here. I want it there. Oh, where's that? There. And then wrap this with a horizontal box because we need a ready button and a leave party button. And wrap this with a size box. A little too big right now. We'll do a height override. Go with like it there. Let's. Sure. I guess that was probably unnecessary. That's not gonna do anything. Oh, we can do this though. This button's gonna say leave party. And this one is going to say ready. Let's make this one green, and then we'll switch it to unready when we change it. Oh. I think that might be a problem. I don't love these buttons now. I wish there was a padding option on them to like change the padding around these. Or the size? Can I change the size of it? There we go. Now I can change the button size. I can't. Guess not. Let's fill this one all the way out, and we'll do this. There we go. Okay, and then ready should be green, right? Or should it be... Should it change green once you've clicked it? Or... Yeah, let's maybe like it. Let's keep it red, and then we'll change it to green once we've clicked it. In fact, let's just make this 2 buttons because I'm lazy and this is going to be easier, I think. We're going to wrap this with another horizontal box. And then we're going to grab our button, paste it. And the second one is unready. Sure. Actually, what do we say? Not ready? How do you what do you put here? Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention to chat at all. Maybe a fringe opinion and was just the first I heard. I have a question. Today I use Git to conversion control. What do you use? Yeah, so I do not like Git. I think it's clunky and you don't have a lot of control and whatever, but I use Plastic. It's made by Unity, which is a bit of a problem, but I've been using it since long before the whole, debacle, and they've never changed any of the things on it as far as I know. It's very cheap if you have, so it's free up to I think 3 users and up to a certain project size, and the project size is pretty large. Like pretty damn large. So, but I would be careful. You don't want to, like, if you're the type of developer who has like, if you're using Unreal Engine especially, and you have like 35 different asset packs you just imported in because you might want to use those models someday, I don't recommend that because that is going to bloat your project, then you're going to push all that to the cloud. And then you'll start paying like $5 to $15 a month for that. So yeah. And I also think you can also like, you'll get warned or something like that before you do that or whatever. But yeah, anyway, it's free up to 3 people, and it's quite a bit easier to use, in my opinion, and it's a little more powerful. You can have a lot more control over it than Git. So that's what I use for Unreal Engine, and I highly recommend it. I know it's made by Unity, but it does work in Unreal Engine. It works very well. How long have you been doing game development? I started dabbling a little bit in high school. So in high school, my friends and I started talking about this game we wanted to make. It was like a 2D. We essentially kind of designed like a really goofy version of Undertale. Undertale was not even a thought in anyone's mind at the time, though. That did not exist yet. But we kind of just came up with like this really dumb like Undertale kind of like side scroller RPG idea. And we were just kind of like started playing with that. And then I was like, oh, this is interesting. I never like thought about designing video games before that. except for one time in like 5th grade when I designed Pokemon Black, and I wrote a 3-page letter to the Pokemon company or whatever, whoever owned it then. I don't know what it was called. Anyway, I sent a letter. I think I probably sent it to Nintendo. I don't even know where I sent it to. My grandparents sent it for me. I wrote this whole long letter in like 4th or 5th grade about how they should make Pokemon Black and that they could hire me and all this stuff. And then a couple years later it came out and I was like, they took my idea. Like, you know, there's only so many colors in the rainbow and outside the rainbow. So it was like, whoa. But anyway, it blew my mind because I thought they stole my idea. But yeah, it was Pokemon Black and White, obviously. Anyway, yeah, other than that, then we started coming up with another game idea, and this is the one where we like went from reasonable game idea to absolutely bloated, like hot pile of garbage idea, and we became like full-time professional idea guys. And it was a game called Identity, and it was basically a first-person Sims game where you could do anything. And we were like, oh man, you could join the military, and then you go do missions, and like they fly you overseas so you can play like a first-person shooter. And then I had this great idea where I wanted to like be able to make movies in the game, so you like would bring other players in and like you could like record movies and stuff. Like, I don't know, it was, looking back, I'm like, what was I even thinking? It was just such a stupid idea. Anyway, you could do anything in it. It was like pretty much like a life sim with like infinite content. And at the time we were like, why don't people make this? This is such a this would make millions of dollars. And then we're like, we're gonna have in-game advertisements. Like we'll get Coke to sign up so you can like see, like it'll be just like real life. And I'm like, why would anyone want to play that? Anyway, sure, I guess Earthbound, like, yeah, something like that. Anyway, and then that was my very first foray because one of my friends who kind of knew how to program, and he was like, why don't you write some pseudocode and I can start like writing this game for you, like designing it. And I was like, I don't know what any of that means. And so he started introducing me, and I was like, oh, this is how you like make video games. This is cool. I didn't realize this is how you did this. And so I started writing like pseudocode, which was absolutely terrible, just for the main menu. And it took me like 2 hours to write like all the pseudocode for the main menu. And I was like, this is going to be a lot of work to make this video game. Like, I didn't realize it was this much work. And then I didn't touch it again for like 2 years when I found RPG Maker. Obviously that game idea was completely just thrown out of the window at that point when it became work and it was no longer just brainstorming. But yeah, then I discovered, not Game Maker, I discovered RPG Maker for PlayStation, I think. I had Gamefly at the time. I don't know if you guys remember Gamefly or ever heard of it, but it's like, I was gonna say it's like Netflix, but it's not like Netflix anymore. It's like Netflix used to be before it was a digital streaming service, and you would rent movies, or in this case games, online at a website, and then they would mail them to your house, and then you could play them on your console because we didn't have Steam at the time. I don't think Steam might have been around, but I didn't have it. Anyway, so I rented RPG Maker because I was like, what is this game? This sounds crazy. And then when I realized what it was, I was like, oh my god, I can make my own video games. So that was like probably 2004, maybe 2005, maybe 2006. I don't know, somewhere in there. And then I graduated high school, and right after I graduated, I went to try to make games with, because I loved RPG Maker so much. I wanted to learn to program games. So I went into college. My grandpa paid for my tuition for a month. It was like a tech school thing, so like you could just pay like by the month or whatever, or by the, not the month, the quarter or whatever was the term. So I did that, and I made it through like the first probably month or so, and I was like, C++ is, wait, like I still have the book. It's like this fat, like the C++ book, and I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to do this. Like, I don't understand any of this. It's all way over my head. Also, keep in mind, I just graduated high school with a 1.9 GPA. If that means anything to you, you understand how stupid that, or how terrible that is. But I basically, like, I've never met anyone else with a GPA as low as mine that actually graduated, that didn't have to like retake classes and like fix that. It was terrible. Anyway, I barely graduated. I didn't do any of my homework. I didn't like school. I hated it. So I always just thought it was stupid. So when I got into like learning C++, I was like, well, I'm way too stupid for this. I can't do this. And then it was shortly after I quit that, and my grandpa was disappointed in me, that I discovered RPG Maker for Windows. And I was like, holy shit, I can type. This is so much easier than the stupid, PlayStation version. And also now I can share my games with people. I can actually publish them. That was like what opened my eyes and made me realize like I actually can make games. Maybe I'm not going to be a programmer, but I can totally use this like visual scripting event system to like build whatever I want. And I just ran with that. And for the next like probably 3 years of my life, that's like all I did was RPG Maker and work. And then finally I went to school. I tried to go to school for, I wanted to go for game art, but every school I went to, because my GPA was so bad in high school, they wanted me to go for graphic design first for some reason. I guess it's like an easier field to get into for some reason. Or an easier degree program to get into at like Art Institute, something like that. And they make you do that first for the first like semester, and then if your GPA is good enough, because it wasn't in high school, then I could transition or transfer over into game art. And so I made it like probably a month in every time I tried going back to school to Full Sail. I made it probably a month or something like that doing graphic design, and I hated it, and I gave up every single time. So finally, I met a couple friends in RPG Maker, and one of them was like, hey, have you ever tried Game Maker? So I tried that for a little while. It wasn't really my cup of tea. I didn't know how to code. I didn't want to learn to code. And another friend introduced me to Stencil, Stencyle. Every single time I say I have to spell it, just in case someone wants to look it up. Stencil kind of changed everything for me because I could stop making RPGs and I started making like platformers and top-down games and whatever else I wanted. I could make anything I wanted. So I started making all kinds of stuff. I started doing game jams with that. I made a game called People Smashin', and it was my very first like published game. Well, kind of technically. I did a couple game jams before that were technically published. But People Smashin', somebody wanted to pay me $100 to get sponsored over, which is because they're all Flash games in Stencil. At least it was back then. And I was like, well, this is cool. Okay, I can make money from making games. So, but then I was like, yes, I want to get sponsored. Yes, I'll take the $100. And they're like, great, you just need to change these 50 things from the game, and then you can, be sponsored, and we'll give you $100. And I was like, it's gonna take me like 6 hours to like fix all these things they wanted me to fix. And I was like, so $100 divided by this much time, and I was like, I'm making like 45 cents an hour. I don't think this is worth it for $100. So I decided not to do it. So I just told them, never mind, I'm not gonna do that. And I just published the game as is. And then I just made more games. And eventually I decided that I wasn't going to do games anymore, and I started doing other things. I tried to be a bartender. I worked at Walmart for a while. Yeah, I don't know why I'm telling my whole life story. Sorry. You'd asked me how long I've been making games, and I went off. Why do I do this? What's wrong with me? Anyway, I've been making games for a long time. How's that? But I didn't start taking it like really serious until probably 2010, maybe 2012, somewhere in there. That's when I like started really like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to be a bartender. I tried all kinds of things. What else did I get into? Music was a big one for me. I really wanted to do something with music, and I loved playing music. I played in a lot of bands, wrote a lot of music, but that music is so hard to get into, like so much harder. I mean, it's probably easier than that today, but still, it was so much harder to get into like than game development was back then. And like right when I started really getting into game development is when like Indie Game the movie came out, and like the indie scene started like actually becoming viable. And I was like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm still kick myself because I had so many games lined up that I could have just started promoting and actually like finished those games and like done something with. But it took Unreal Engine to like really like light that fire to make me realize I could actually make real games, like full scale games, and actually sell them. So I was a little late to the indie scene boat, even though I was making games through all of it. I just never really published anything that was like worth a damn. But I like the story, keep going. Yeah, so I guess the last step of the stage of that story was just that I went back to school again. And this one is actually kind of a funny story because I had a friend I was working with at Walmart, and he came to me and he was like, I want to be a musician or a DJ or something, or I think he wanted to be a producer. That's what it was. So he came to me and he was like, I started school at Full Sail University, and because we worked together like every day, like we were like I don't know, we're decent friends, I guess. And so he started showing me his homework because he needed help with it. And I was like, shit, this stuff is easy. And he was struggling with it. And so I was trying to help him. And I was like, oh, just write this, you know. And I was doing a little bit for him or whatever. And I was just trying to get him by. And I was like, tell me about the school. And he was like, dude, they're going to send me a laptop in like after 3 months. I would go to school for 3 months. And then, or maybe it's 4 months. And then, not 3. And then they send me an MacBook. And then I can start producing music on that. And I was like, do they have any other degree programs? And then I saw they had game art and animation. And I was like, you know what? I've been already learning Blender a little bit. I'd already been playing with Maya a little bit because I like Maya better. And I was kind of into it. And I was like doing 3D modeling at the time. I was making like these. I'm not gonna pull them up. Anyway, I was making like weapon designs and stuff, and I was kind of enjoying that. And my friend and I were working in, I forgot about this. We were working in Unity for a little bit. The same friend that introduced me to Stencil, he moved to Unity eventually, and then I followed him. And I was just doing art and design, some level design stuff for a game we were making called The Scoundrel's Guide. That was really cool, and I wish we would have finished that, but it's whatever. It was actually an open world RPG, very similar to Swords and Magic. A semi-similar art style where I was using vector art and everything in there too, except the all of the weapons were very like Minecraft like, so they were all 2D vector art, and they just like sat in front of your like face, you know, like then you like slash them just like Minecraft. And it was just an open world exploration RPG, and it was like a sci-fi like how to explain this, it was sort of like Borderlands, I guess. It was like sort of like the same vibe as like Borderlands. Like it was a sci-fi like post-apocalyptic kind of thing. So you're like on an alien planet exploring, because I wanted to make like all these alien things. But it was kind of cool because all of the art in the game was all 2D planes. They were like rotating around you or whatever, but in a 3D space. I don't know, it was cool. Moving on. So yeah, I already had kind of some experience doing like texture painting and like some 3D modeling and stuff, so I was like, I could go to school for game art, and my sole intention was to go for 4 months, get a MacBook, because my PC was absolute garbage. It was just like ready to catch on fire any minute. I could not play like almost any games on it. I think I was playing like maybe League of Legends or something at the time. And Minecraft probably. That's probably all I could run. So I started school there, and I got to my 4 months, and I got my MacBook, and I was like, sick. And I also got a graphics tablet, and I was like, this is cool. And I got like some like animation paper and like all this other stuff in the mail, and I was like, this is awesome. Come to find out, I paid like, you know, 10 grand for all that stuff that was worth like, you know, 3 grand. But still, yeah, so I was like, this is cool. And then my next class was actually like a modeling class, and I was like, I'm kind of having fun with this. I'll stick to it. I'm not gonna quit yet. So I decided to try the modeling class, and I loved it. And they did this thing that set me up for success, I think, where this instructor, and I can't remember his name now, but he was the best instructor. He didn't know the hell he was doing with it, because when it comes to 3D modeling, but he did a good job of like, teaching his class. He worked on like a Barbie game or something, and that was the only reason he got a job there, I think. And I like the guy, he was great, but his art was terrible. And when I asked him for advice on things, he did not know what he was doing or what he was talking about. And looking back now, I'm like, yeah, that guy was like big time a noob. He didn't know what he was doing. But he was teaching, and he did work in AAA, so whatever. But anyway, he did this thing where every Friday or whatever day it was, everyone would get into a call in the class, and you presented your work, and he would critique it live, which I guess isn't like revolutionary or anything. But critiquing it live gave me like a stage, and I was like, that's it. My art or my model every week or every month or whatever, I was every week, whatever I make for that week has to be the very best. And my goal was to make sure that he could not find anything wrong with it, because he gave critiques on everything no matter what, and he still did all my models. But every time he did that, I was like, nope, I'm fixing that next week. That'll never happen again. And then I went like above and beyond. And then when we did this thing where he would like show us like a scene, like a picture of a scene, and he'd say, pick 2 props from the scene and model those or whatever, right? It'd just be like a photo, and then we just use that as reference and like model from it. And I would model everything in the whole scene. I'd model the walls, I'd do everything, the whole thing, and I'd submit that. And he'd open it and be like, Okay, so like he was just like mind blown every single time because I was just like going ham on this. And I was just doing like 10, 20, 30 times the amount of work I needed to every single week because I was loving it. And I was also a stay-at-home dad, so I had all this time, right? I didn't have a job other than watching Abby. I was gonna say Quinn, but Abby at the time. So yeah, I had a lot of time on my hands, and every chance I had, I was modeling. And I was just falling more and more in love with it, and I actually loved like 3D art. So yeah, that's the only reason I stuck with it. And then the next course was like texture painting, and then it was after that it was like level design stuff, and I was like, oh my god, okay, I have to keep doing this. And then before I knew it, I got a call from my student advisor, student liaison, whatever, and she was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but you are in the running for valedictorian. And I was like, you called the wrong person, because I barely graduated high school. There's no way I can be valedictorian in college. And turns out I was, and I got valedictorian. But she called me to see if I want to do like extra work to like make sure I got it, and I was like, nah, if I get it, I get it. So I just did what I was already doing and just kept going, because I had an English class, which by the way, I've always prided myself in like my writing. I always thought that I was a pretty decent writer, and I was really good at like grammar and stuff like that. And for some reason, man, this lady hated me. I do not know what was happening, but I got a B- in that class. That was my worst grade in all of college. Everything else was A. Everywhere else was A or A plus, like everything. And then I got one B- in that stupid English class, and I could not figure out what the hell was going on. I do not know why I got graded so poorly or so harshly in that class. So anyway, but still, even with that, I got valedictorian. Anyway, yeah, I was pretty proud of that. It was pretty cool. So yeah, I graduated. I was shocked that I graduated, and there was something about like graduating where I was like, well, I guess I can do this. Like this must be my thing, because I finally found like this thing I'm actually good at, and I didn't fail. And I stuck with it, and I'm still loving it. So I just kept doing it. And then I had a friend who hired me to do like some sculpting and stuff for him, and I did that for a while. He paid me some decent money, but then he ran out of money because he was just like an indie project. And then I went and got a job, or I applied for a job at Sucker Punch. That was my only AAA studio I ever applied for, until I applied recently for, not like a couple years ago, for Crystal Dynamics to work on the new Tomb Raider game. That didn't, or Perfect Dark, whichever one they were working on at the time, and that didn't work. I didn't get either of those jobs, obviously. And then in school, they taught Unreal Engine for one semester, or one course, whatever it was, one term. I got one class, whatever. And I just had to learn a little bit of blueprints to trigger an animation when my character walked over to this treasure chest that I modeled and animated. And that was like an eye-opener for me, and I was like, oh my god, there's a 3D game engine that uses visual scripting just like Stencil. It's just like, you know, nodes instead of like blocks of text or blocks of code. And yeah, so right after I couldn't work for my friend anymore and I didn't get my Sucker Punch job, I was like, well, I should start learning Unreal Engine maybe, and I can maybe make my own game. So I opened up Unreal Engine. I made like some little dumb project just to like see if I could actually do what I thought I could do in it. And when I realized like how powerful blueprints were, I was like, okay, cool. Let's make a test project to learn Unreal Engine. And I started making these dumb little cube characters, and that turns into this. It's been almost 8 years now, and this still have these dumb little cube characters that I just like pulled out of my ass, because I was like, I just need something stupid. I don't want to spend a bunch of time making cool characters. And God, I wish I would have. Because somehow when I started, one of my other friends started asking me to stream the game development. So I did that. And that's what kind of set me off. Anyway. So yeah, I'm still stuck with these dumb little cube characters. And at one point I did try like updating them. And we spent like a whole stream like tweaking like their... Like we had to rebuild the world. We decided to rebuild it in multiplayer, right? So around that time I was like, maybe I should just revamp these characters and make them look better. Maybe these like block-headed characters are just stupid and we should make something cooler. So I spent a lot of time doing that and it didn't work out, so I just left them how they were. Yep. Anyway, moving on. Let's get this working now. That was story time. Was that half an hour of story time? Do you have a lot of tech debt due to this being such an early project and your big first one, or have you managed to keep things tidy? So I brought on a programmer early on because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was trying, And I made like a whole single player, actually it was a split screen like couch co-op version of the game early on that was much smaller, much more like condensed, and pretty decent, I guess, for my very first attempt. I never like actually made a game of this scale or scope before, so didn't know what I was doing. And then I brought on a programmer named Moz, and he decided that we should do multiplayer, and I was like, let's do it. I'm down to make a multiplayer game. I didn't know what I was doing, so it was all up to him. And then we restarted the project there. So luckily, all of my original tech debt was gone. That all got wiped away. I wish I had that old project that I could open up, but I do not. But then, so Maz and I started working on a new one, and then we actually gutted that one and started over again on another project, like another fresh project, and we just moved things over that we needed. So we started over like twice. So luckily, yes, there's a ton of tech debt, like a ton. Like it's a freaking mess. There's so much stuff in here that I really wish I could just go gut and like start over. But everything touches everything, and that's the biggest problem. That's why we're still on UE4. Not UE5, is because we have a lot of spaghetti dependencies that are all wrapped together. And when we tried to switch to UE5, everything crashes over and over again because of that. UE5 is way more picky about dependency chains. Probably a good thing, to be honest. And it's something that we probably could have spent a couple weeks like refactoring and untangling things, and it would be for the better, and then we can move to UE5. But at this point, like, and at the time of considering switching, it was like, well, we only have like another year of development and then we're done. So like, let's just stick to UE4 and get it done. And that was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't even know how long ago it was. Long time ago. And so yeah, now I'm like, now I wish we would have just done it, but it's too late now. So now I'm just sticking with it. We're gonna get it done. So yeah, we're gonna add dungeons to the game, skill trees. We're gonna add the Bone Rage Zone, and we're gonna finish up some like storyline stuff in Azura and Farmlands. Finish up our guard quests in Sleepy Haven. That'll be the end of the guard quest line, and then we're pretty much done. The game is pretty much finished at that point. I honestly think if I just worked on this full time and just like really put my nose down and stopped putting extra features and stuff in, we'd probably have this done in like a year and a half, probably, maybe less than that. But I'm kind of in a different stage now. Like I'm at a different headspace for this, and this has turned from like I have to get this done because it's paying my bills to this is now a passion project, and I'm just doing it because I love doing it, and I don't really care how long it's going to take. So if there's something fun I want to add to it, I'm going to add to it, and that's just all there is to it at this point. So it's very much just turned into a passion, like almost a hobby project again. Luckily, Jana's working and like loves her new job she just got recently, so that's paying the majority of our bills, and then Swords of Magic covers the rest of them. So we're doing okay right now. Still sounds that you have managed to keep things neat then, and yeah, moving things across versions is such pain. Yes. Going, like, scaling up from, like, the different UE4 versions wasn't too bad. Only a couple things broke here and there. Nothing really crazy. But yeah, going from UE4 to UE5 was a big jump. And now it's like, now we're, like, so far behind. I'm sure there's so many more issues would pop up. So, but it's okay. I don't mind UE4. I think this is a really good version of UE4. 427 is the latest version of UE4, and we're in 426. So, but yeah, it's not bad. Should we, let's just call this cancel. Does that make sense? We'll do ready, and then it'll switch to, what if we just make it a tick box? What if it just says like ready and it has a little checkbox next to it? What's this? Nope. says no bind events. I don't mind the idea of the checkbox. I'm just have to take a second to clean it up, but ready and cancel should be the same button, no? They will be, yes. We're gonna hide one and then we'll swap them. Does that make sense? Changing the text on the button and changing the function is kind of annoying, so we're just gonna make it two separate buttons that do different things, and then we'll just swap them out. Yeah, it's kind of a lazy way to do it, but it's worked for me in the past. So anyway, yeah, so we'll have ready and then cancel. I do think maybe cancel should be green, or maybe ready should be green. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. Not that green. It's an ugly green. Let's go more. I feel like when you click it, it should turn green to show like, cool, I'm ready. What if it says not ready, and then you click it, and then it says ready? Is that confusing, or is that backward? The word ready looks way wrong now. Like, it does not look like the right word. I don't know. Let's just leave it like this for now, and then we'll see what testers think, I guess. It'll be fine. Okay, so unready, we go down here and we do collapsed. And then we click, do on clicked. On clicked. Okay, so when we click ready, we're going to set unready to visible. Set ready button ready to collapsed. Why is this not duplicating? And then we call our, need one more dispatcher for ready. And we're gonna do player and ready. Simple. I guess we'll just do it twice, it's fine. And we'll put our player in. Really don't know why Control D is not working. There it goes. Hit it like 5 times. Okay. And now we just need the role change one. Update role into new role. Now we need player. I have to make functions for all these where we loop through, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Or we'll probably just update it and then we'll call one function that just updates all of the widgets with the correct new information. Okay. Do we fix our duplicate issue? I feel like it's duplicating in another place. Like, I'm afraid like there's gonna be like 1,000 nodes that I'm just duplicating somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, this one's striker, this one's healer, this one's guardian. Should we disable these buttons when you select one? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just thinking I don't want players selecting the same one over and over again, but I guess it doesn't matter. God, fine. Okay, and then we go back to our dungeon. Oh, this is dungeon menu. Right, and then we just call update party members with all the information when that happens. Okay, so we go back to our dungeon manager. Find event joined party. Left party. Ready. Roll. Sure, that's good enough. I'm happy with that. I should have done. You can do this assign, which does the thing for you, and I always forget you can do that. That's so much easier and cleaner. We'll do this. Okay. Joined, we need to go to our, we need an array of players actually. Just promote this to party. I don't think it should be possible. Oh yeah, actually, hold on. We need to do this. If we're not in the party already and we want to join it, we need to make sure that we don't have already more than 4 players. Oh my god. You'd think after like years of first-person shooters, I'd be more accurate with my mouse like clicks. Right? I'm not claiming to be good at first-person shooters. I'm not a very good aim. But still, you'd think I'd be a little better. Hey, what's up, Matt? Welcome back. Where'd you go? Work stuff? Keep the ready text. Oh, could wait, hold on. Not ready is not clear, I think. Sorry, I was not paying attention. Usually it's best to have actions in buttons. I'd keep the default color. Oh, wait. I'm confused. I keep the default color on not ready, but then turn green when ready. Yeah, maybe we just do a tick box, or maybe we just make the button a like. I don't know. I'm confused. Yeah, I'm starting to think that this should say not ready, and then you click it and it says ready. Or maybe it says ready up. How about this? How about this says, hold on. How about this says No, go the other way around. This one. This says ready up, and then this one just says ready. And then we change the colors, right? Right? Does that make sense? And then it just works as a toggle. Let's see what that looks like in game. Maybe not ready and I'm ready. I think just not ready and ready would work too, but I think it's confusing because like you mentioned, the button should be an action, right? So this should say what it's going to do when I click it. Like this one, if I click this one, it leaves the party, right? Which does nothing, but that's fine. But this one should ready up when I click it. Oh, I need to fix the colors, but yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the problem. It's like when I click it, so it says ready up, right? That's why I do think it should say cancel. I don't know, buttons are tough, aren't they? Especially when it changes like that. I think maybe it says ready up, changes green, and then just says not ready. No, because I don't know, because then like this is so tough. Ooh, this music sounds familiar. Does it? Matt, we had like 3 or 4 people. We're gonna pretend it was 3 or 4 people. I think it was like 2. Say that they wanted me to stream WoW tomorrow. So I'm tempted to just start a fresh character on stream and just like go through the whole like leveling process on stream with that character. I don't really want to keep playing my character while I'm on stream, right? Because I'll feel like I'm just picking up from like the middle of the game somewhere. And I also kind of want, if I'm going to stream it, I kind of want to read all the text. Cancel would work, I think. But the problem is, like, I don't know. I want this to say that you're ready, but if it says, I don't know. I think cancel's probably the best. I think you're right. I think it should just say ready and then cancel. And I think we'll keep this as ready up, because if it says ready, it might look like you're already ready. You know what I mean? And you're not ready at this point, so it should say ready up. Maybe just I'm ready. How's that? I'm ready. That's more casual. That's more Swords and Magic. Perfect. Let's do that. I'm ready, and when you click it, it'll say cancel. So it's green saying like, yes, I'm ready to go, and then you can click it again to cancel. Cool. Too many alts or Ice Mage. Oh, I kind of want to reroll a Paladin. Oh my god, man. Dragonflight or Chromie? No, Dragonflight. I just think that, so here's why I think I like it. I like Dragonflight because everyone is traveling to a new land that they've never been to before, and it's a fully new experience. So when you meet all the characters and stuff there, they're not characters from existing expansions and existing lore or whatever. I don't think they probably are, but anyway. But I like the idea that like as a new person exploring Dragon Isles, you get to you get to meet everyone as they are introduced to you, and it's like a cohesive story. It's like a inclusive, cohesive story, right? I could be wrong, maybe I'm way off, but I don't know. Everything I've like seen so far, and I have been very much skipping all the text, but everything I've seen so far has not been like showing me like these crazy cutscenes from other like when you did I think it's Battle for Azeroth, I think it was, and you meet like Jaina gets arrested right in front of you. The first time you meet Jaina Proudmoore, she just gets arrested, and you're just like, who is this? Why should I care if she gets arrested? I don't know what's going on. And it's just like, it's a bunch of lore from previous expansions and throughout the game that is like confusing as hell to like get behind. But I feel like Dragonflight just doesn't have that problem because they've just introduced a brand new thing. So like that's kind of what I like. a Pandarian paladin. I think it's so funny that you made a panda as a joke character, and now that's like your go-to character. Do the pandas start in Pandaria still, or do they start in the Exile's Reach again right now? Or can you? I guess you can pick, huh? I don't know. I've only been playing allied races, so I haven't played Exile's Reach in a long time. You can choose where you start. Maybe you'll do Exile's Reach tomorrow when we start. You're gonna start a new character. Oh, you don't have work tomorrow, do you? Do you want to play with me tomorrow then? Should we start new characters together, Matt? Do you imagine if we got like a party of 4? We got like four of us starting new characters. Wink, 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 wink. How late are you gonna be up tonight though? Are you trying to fix your schedule, or are you going back to staying up till 3 a.m. with me? That's the real question. I was up till 5 a.m. Last night playing. I hit level 44, Matt. And I'm doing every damn quest because I discovered the reputation tracks, and I absolutely love that. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Fair enough. So yeah, I've been doing no-lifing the reputation tracks and loving all the rewards there. There's one for the centaurs where you get to do a quest where you help raise a baby, what are they called? Thunder lizard, I think that's what they're called. Which I remember from the Barons when I played a horde character a long time ago, the thunder lizards. And I saw one, there's a really super badass one you had to kill for a quest, and this one was an optional part of the quest. And it was like a wanted poster quest. And it was this really badass looking thunder lizard, and I'm hoping that the mount you get, because you raise that thunder lizard and it becomes a mount for you. So I really want to do that. So I'm like grinding out the reputation to get that mount. And hyped to see gay dragons, love to see it. Nice. Anyway, I'm hyped to see like what the mount looks like at the end. So that's like pretty far in the reputation for the centaurs. So that's what I've been focusing on. But it's also cool because you unlock this thing in the reputation called like the hunt, the great hunt or something. I can't think what it's called. And every 2 hours, a hunt appears in one of the zones in the Dragon Isles. And if it's in a zone that I can actually play in, then you go there, and then there's like 6 parts of the hunt, and each one is like a different like quest kind of, and they take a while. So you really need like the full, almost like the full 2 hours to do it. But oh my god, the last 3 hunts are like big bad guys, big bad monster guys you have to fight, and I almost died like 15 times. I feel like also there's a weird like buff going on in Dragon Isles where if you die it like saves you from dying, and then you get like a buff on your bar and it's like you were saved from death in Dragon Isles because of something, and I have no idea what's causing that or how you get it, but it makes me feel a little handheld, and I don't love it. I want to just die and be like, shit, now I gotta start that over. But the fights literally took like 10-15 minutes a piece because they were super hard to kill. The dragonflights can give you random buffs. Interesting. Also, I noticed this other thing. Sorry, I'm trying not to stay on this tangent. We're gonna move on in a second. But in your dragon riding skill tree, right, the little like skilled nodes you can pick, there's one that says like you get, instead of when you're flying really fast, you gain your vigor back at 1 per 15 seconds. There's one for 10 seconds, right? And then later down the tree, there's one for 5 seconds, so you can do 5 instead. So you can unlearn the first one because you don't need it anymore, and it's not necessary to get the second one. And that is because it's just useless at that point because it's like you're not getting it. It's like I don't think you're bolt ticking, right? So then you can put that somewhere else. So you still get your vigor every 5 seconds, as far as I know. I could be wrong, and maybe it's ticking both of them. Maybe it's ticking every 15 seconds, every 10 seconds, and every 5 seconds, which means every 15 seconds you're getting 3 ticks instead of 1, but I could be wrong. I kind of want to try Pandaren Warrior, only because the 2-handed animation is kick-ass. Do it. I have no idea what I'm gonna play tomorrow if we decide to start new characters and level together. But I will be going a little bit slower because I'll be streaming and I'm going to be reading text. So if you don't want to stick with me, that's fine too. I don't even know if I don't know if I want to be like in voice chat unless I use push to talk. Because then I'll be talking a lot in your ear. We'll see. I'll think about it. Okay, moving on. This is better. We leave this alone. Now, what else was wrong? Oh yeah. This needs, we just need to copy this, paste. The one thing that I really do miss about UE5 is you can shift right click and shift left click to copy paste. God, I wish I had that. It's so nice. Like, I wonder if there's a plugin for that. Never thought about that. Okay. We need to get this guy set up. No, dungeon manager set up. Also, shouldn't this have been working? Oh, we need to update party members, that's why. So first we go here, and then on interact, we're gonna call update party members. Actually, we need to call the binds thing. Let's just do it there. Bind menu events. We should unbind all first, I think. Oh my god. I have to restart the engine, I guess. I wish I could just unbind all of them. I could also maybe use a Boolean, I guess. What if we just do this? Let's just make a Boolean. At the end of this, we'll just set it. If we haven't bound our events, then we'll bind them. Otherwise, we won't do it again. And this guy is going to update party members. And that'll be empty at first. Okay, let's test it. I think it should fill a join button in, but won't do anything after that. I just want to make sure this is working up to this point. Cool, join party. It needs a little more padding, but it's fine. And that gets rid of that, and it should update our thing next. I guess technically we don't even need to do this right here, because this is all going to get it immediately cleared anyway. Okay, join. Add a party member. Add, and then we want to call update party again. Let's just do this like at the end here. Let's do update party. Oh. We have an update party button in there, which is kind of interesting. Okay, left, we need a function for this. So we're just gonna do a find party member, return. we making? Making an open world multiplayer RPG called Swords and Magic and stuff. It's out on Steam in early access right now, and we're building some dungeons and skill trees to it. Right now. Okay, we're gonna return the party member we found, so let's go output party struct dungeon party. Say member. Let's get our party. We need to input a player character. For each. I feel like we just built this the other day, just recently. Like just a minute ago, we just built this. Stop. Can I do that? Can I just put nothing? Oh, well, maybe I can actually. What's your problem? Sometimes if you drag a struct or like an array like this in, and then you plug it in auto. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sometimes if you're dumb, you do things that is wrong. That are wrong. Is it peer-to-peer? It's a listen server, so technically peer-to-peer. Yes. Well, technically not peer-to-peer, but yes, it is a listen server, so works very similar to peer-to-peer. Okay, left we want to do find party member. And we're gonna do this guy, and we do move. I need to go check on Gianna really quick, because there was just a big crash in the garage. One sec, guys. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hi. Sorry, no issues. I think it was just they closed the doors in unison, so it was a louder bang than I was expecting on the car doors. Okay, ready. We're going to. We need this find party member again. Oh yeah, we need to call this guy. Hello. Set member. Oh, I can't do that. We do this. Oh my god. And we do find this, and then we do set array element, and we do make. I think we do this, and then break. All these in here except ready. Oh, we don't have a ready in a struct? Damn it. Luckily, I can change a struct without any real issues. Let's compile all these. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Okay. So yeah, we want to put this ready here instead. You know, instead of doing binds on all these, we could have just done one that just said like update party member, and we could have had left wouldn't have worked, join wouldn't have worked, but ready and role update could be one thing that just says like update. It's fine. We've already kind of done it. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's do this. Let's just do like update status or something. But we don't have a way, we're not tracking if we're ready or not. Let's promote this to a variable. And then this will be ready update. We're just going to change this to update. Sure, update state's fine, I guess. Then we'll also add on our role. Okay, so ready state goes here, and then we have selected role goes here. And we delete these guys. Oh, we're not even changed the selected role anywhere. I'm glad we caught that because I would have been like, why is this not working? Healer, striker. And we just call these up here. Technically, we only have to call this once here too. We could just have one function that does this, but it's just fine. Okay, that's better. And then we go back into here, refresh this, and we have role going into here and our ready state. And let's just clean this up a little bit because it's kind of wild. whatever. That's fine. Good enough. Okay. Oh, ready state. Okay, I think that's it. I think we can hit play and test it. We're gonna fix our thing right now. Okay, join party. Boom. Botch, party leader. Oh, he shouldn't be ready yet. I don't think we had that hooked up. Okay. That's also not changing. Oh, it worked there. We need to input the role information when you first open it as well. Or actually, we just need to update this and this. And I guess these. And the ready. Okay. So when we open our menu, we should just have a... It would be really nice if we just... Should we just grab, like... Find our player from here. You could also put our player's player state in here and then grab that and then just do a function in here that like sets up all of our visuals, all these based on that player state. Or we could do it at the start and just input the player in here. Let's just do it in here, I guess. We'll do it on construct. Sure, that's fine, I guess. So expose this on spawn. This is the one player. Okay. Let's make a function do it. No, so let's just do a custom event over here. Just call it init menu. Okay, now we're gonna grab what? Our buttons here? No. I wish we could simulate pressing the button, but that would create a loop? No, it wouldn't, but still. We want selected glow for all these. Do you need something? Okay. Okay. Literally just talked like 2 minutes ago downstairs. Okay, so I need to set all these to invisible first. So set visibility to hidden. All 3 of them. And then we do set visibility for this one to visible. That sets that one up. Okay, and now we're going to quickly this over here so I keep it clean. Next, we need to set the leader. So, this actually is fine. Leader's fine. It's the ready state we need to change. Ready and unready. Come on. Okay. If we're ready, then we want the ready button to be collapsed. I think that's right. Oh, I didn't plug that in. Sorry, we're not ready to test this yet. Current player state. So first thing we gotta do is, oh, I guess also we should probably check to see if this is valid in here. If that's not valid, then we don't need to set any of this up because we should just have it on defaults. Okay. And now we're gonna use our find party member. Get controlled on cast player character. Okay, we should probably eventually think about replication for this because we're not at all right now. We need to run probably a replicated or an RPC event on our player controller. We should just like promote this. Maybe. I guess it doesn't matter. We can just, whenever we update this, we can just grab like our player controller, run a update function, whatever, with the party through it, and then we'll call update party members, I think. So instead of doing this here, oh yeah, that's another thing. I forgot we didn't plug this guy in. Instead of doing this here, we'll probably call an RPC here instead, which will then call update party members through that. But in single player, this should be working perfectly right now, I think. Okay, join. Oh yeah, we need to like, if you're not joined, we can't have these buttons down here yet. Also, these are positioned bad. We need to space them out better. That's working perfectly. It says not ready. Oh yeah, we didn't set that up yet. Okay, so now we're a healer. We're ready. If we close this now and open it back up, healer, ready. Beautiful. Oh, this is not selecting properly. Now it's not updating. Okay, well, first let's fix that. Nope, this one. I'm confused. Okay, Guardian. We set all these to hidden. Is that how I'm doing this? Yeah, hidden. And then based on our roll, we grab... Oh, I put these in the wrong places, that's why. Healer, Striker, Guardian. That's probably what the problem was. And we set that visible. And then we didn't set up the ready button. Oh my god. Right, we did this part. What we haven't done is when we change ready, we need to loop through... Just need a custom event for this, probably. Or we should probably handle this on the dungeon manager. No, it's fine. No, we won't. We don't need to. we need to grab all of our... Where's our party box? Party box. Get children. Now we're gonna do... I think we just need to do this, actually. I don't think we need a custom event for this. I think I'm done. Ready icon. Didn't I swear I already did this. Like, I remember... Yeah, update ready status. Ah, I see what's happening. Let's just... put this up here. I don't think we need to do this. Every time someone updates their ready status, it updates everything anyway. So we just do this here. We don't need this. That should work. What's up, Summon? Welcome in. How's your day going? Oh, wrong button. Cool, that joins me as a healer. Good, that's working. We'll do healer, get ready. That didn't update. This is working, but I think, oh, I know what's wrong. Because we didn't, right. That's all working fine. It's right here. Here we go. That's what we're missing. Doing okay so far. Getting ready to go outside and get some landscaping done. Ooh, that sounds nice. So I'd stop into Twitch real quick. Cool, there we go. Okay, now the trick is to test this in multiplayer and just replicate the whole thing. I like that you can change this last second. I do wonder if you need to unready to change these. I don't think it matters. No, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because the roles don't do anything anyway. The only thing I could think is I was considering making an option so you can turn on the like a role like icon over your head or something in the dungeon, so like people could like press escape. See, they'll have like a little. So this is kind of what I'm envisioning. You'll hit escape. Over here you'll have a little dungeon options panel, right? If you're in a dungeon, and even if you're readied up for a dungeon, you'll have it. And then you can leave queue here, or leave, not queue, but you can leave the dungeon or leave the party for your dungeon over. And then when you're actually in the dungeon, if you're the party leader, you can disband or end the run or something, or disband party or something. And you'll get like a pop-up warning that says like, are you sure you want to do that? This will, you know, kick everyone out of the dungeon or whatever. You can click yes or no. And you'll also have the option to kick. You'll have like, maybe you'll see all the members and you can kick one of them, which will kick them out of the dungeon. In case like, you know, you're doing a dungeon and like one party member is just like being a dick or something. Like if you're doing like a, who knows, public dungeon or something. Maybe you're playing in the official server or something and someone just being a jerk. You can kick them. And then maybe you'll have an option for all players, not the party leader, but all the players just to like show markers or show member icons or something, so you can like see the tank's icon over their head. Or maybe you can just turn them on individually. Maybe you'll see the whole party and you can just pick them all. Maybe everyone has the option to kick, including the party. Like maybe everyone does, and it's just like vote to kick, and you click vote to kick, and if you get more than 2 votes, that would mean everyone votes but the person being kicked. Maybe if 2 people vote for it, they get kicked. I don't know. What do you guys think? You're resting a bit. Yeah, it's hot out there. 88. Oof. It is 78 here. Shouldn't the leave party and I'm ready appear only after you join the party? Yes. Yes, I'm gonna fix that next. When they do prior, you click on join party. What they do? Oh yeah, what do they do prior? Oh, also leave party doesn't work. I thought that would work. Yeah, so let's put them, first of all, they need to be in their own horizontal box. We need to put one more, let's put, I guess that doesn't matter, but we need like a spacer. Or maybe we need to fix something else. You just do padding on the bottom of the stack, actually. Blue like that. Looks fine. Okay. And then this is, where's that spacer at? Um, leave ready box, I guess. And then here, let's see, if true, we want to set visibility to visible. And over here, we set it. Dude, please, just let me duplicate. What is the deal? To visible. And then we go into designer and we set it to collapsed by default. We could animate it in too, because it's just gonna pop up, but it's fine. Now that should work. Oh, nope. Pardon me? Oh, I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. I'm dumb. We did it here. It needs to be here. Building UI, especially that's going to be multiplayer, is kind of annoying. Okay, there we go. And now if we leave, nothing is happening. Is that just not hooked up? Do we just not have that hooked up at all? Nope. I have to bail in just a couple minutes. Abby's friends will be here soon. Oh, we need to hide that again. So we grab... This goes back to collapsed. And then we need to we also need to add our thing in. So maybe we actually just do a... Oh no, that'll fine. That's already what it works. We could just do this actually. We'll just put it there because this is probably gonna get, yeah, it's fine. That should solve it because it'll, oh no, because it doesn't rebuild it. I'm an idiot. Never mind. Never mind, that's not gonna work. It's not rebuilding it when we do this. We could put it at the beginning of the update party members thing. That might be better, but it'll be fine. Okay, now it should work. Okay, now we can join the party, change our roles, ready, unready, leave the party, join the party, change our roles, leave the party, join party, leave party, join party. Everything's good. Oh, when you, yeah, okay, that's one problem. We need to make sure when we reapply this, we set it back to unready. When you leave party, we'll just set this to unready. We'll just call a force unready right here. Which then does rebuild this. Oh, we already do that anyway. So maybe we want to... We're going to call that function twice now. I guess we kind of need to. I guess we could leave the party and not, like... We can in here. When we leave the party, we just don't do this. We don't need to call that because it's immediately going to call it here when we're ready. Let's do this. Cool. Let's just test that. Hold on, we gotta do this. The force ready. We gotta do it first. Oh no, we do it after. Duh. I think that's gonna work. I'm a little worried it's gonna break things. I think it'll be fine. I'm worried because you've just left the party and now we're updating the party member that doesn't exist. So it might cause a bug. Oh, we're good. I was ready for it to like just throw in access none error, but I think we already have an is valid on it, so it should be good to go. Cool. I think we're good. Now we just got to build it for multiplayer and make sure it works in multiplayer, and then when everyone ready's up, we can handle code for that. But I have to call it here, so good time to end. Perfect. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Appreciate it. Does this game use Epic Online Services multiplayer? No, we're just using Steam, but I want to switch to it eventually because... Can I help you? Bye. Okay, go wait for your friends. I'm doing something here. Sorry. I should have let her stay, I guess. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was just trying to wrap up and she was distracting me. Anyway, yeah, I want to switch to EOS because eventually I would like to put the game on the Epic Store if possible and other places. And if with EOS I can put it on like Xbox and things like that. Can't do that with Steam only. So anyway, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for hanging out. Lyra has the EOS Steam stuff functional. Yeah, I might have to dig into that to like figure out how it's set up or just follow a tutorial or something. I don't know. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for forcing me into story time. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a good chunk of the stream. And I'll be back tomorrow. And I think as of right now, we're probably going to play WoW instead of work. But I'm not 100% on that, so we'll see what happens. Oh, how many viewers do we have? Well, it says 0 now. Let's assume it's 0. So we're not going to rate anyone. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one.